Hello, welcome. This is our first CNS video blog, and the subject today is safety rating upgrades and fine reductions. I have Hoyt, who is our project coordinator and handles most of our safety rating upgrades here at CNS, and we're going to ask him a few questions that would help out a lot of our clients and customers that may be watching. All right, our first question today for Hoyt would be, why should companies worry about getting a conditional or unsatisfactory rating, and what can it do to the health of their business once they do have that rating like that?
A conditional rating should definitely concern a trucking company because first, you're going to pay up to 20% more on your insurance premiums. Second, your broker is probably going to pay you less or just not even give you loads at all. Third, you're one step closer to an unsatisfactory rating. An unsatisfactory rating means you have 60 days to clean up your entire organization or you're going to be shut down.
Our second question would be, what violations from compliance reviews do you see that contribute to a safety rating downgrade?
The violations that I typically see are for ELDs, hours of service stuff. Driving too many hours, not taking breaks, things of that nature. You'll also see mismanagement with your drug and alcohol program. Driver qualification files is another one where usually files are missing certain pieces that have to be in that file. And the same thing for vehicle maintenance files. Again, missing cover sheets, missing receipts that match up against roadside inspections, things of that nature. That's the most typical violations that I see.
Okay. All right, our third question today is, what actually triggers an audit to happen in the first place?
Well, all new entrants, DOT, interstate carriers are going to get an audit within the first 18 months. Some hazmat and passenger carriers are going to be audited every couple of years or every few years. Accidents, repeated roadside inspections, especially repeated roadside inspections that turn up the same violations, are going to drive up your SMS score, and it's going to trigger an alert, which is going to lead to, most likely, a conditional rating.
All right, our fourth question comes across a lot with a lot of clients that I talk to, and they would like to know, once the conditional rating that we're working on with the corrective action plan, once that is lifted, what becomes of the rating? What does it go to?
Okay, so that can be a little bit confusing, so I'll try to simplify it the best that I can. The carrier would always revert back to the rating that they had before the conditional rating. So, if they had a not rateable rating, they would go from conditional back to not rateable. If they had a satisfactory rating, they would go from conditional to satisfactory.
Okay.
Now, in the eyes of the FMCSA, insurance companies, brokers, not rateable and satisfactory are the same thing. That's where a carrier wants to be.
Okay, and once a client that has an unsatisfactory gets upgraded, what happens to that?
Okay, so you can only go from unsatisfactory to conditional. Once that happens, the carrier has to wait 3 months to resubmit the safety rating upgrade, and then they would go to what they were before they got the unsatisfactory. So again, either not rateable or they would go to satisfactory.
Okay, all right. So our fifth question would be, from going through a lot of audits, what are the typical fines associated with the compliance review?
Well, fines vary depending on the severity and the amount of violations. The FMCSA has a formula that takes revenue, how much money you're making, with the maximum amount of penalties that are allowed. But for example, let's take you allow a driver to drive before a pre-employment drug test comes back, that can be $11,000.
Just one time, one violation?
Just one violation can be $11,000.
For our sixth question regarding fines, if a carrier has a fine, what can we do to help?
Well, again, fines are impacted by the severity of the violations and the carrier's fine history. However, we do have a very high success rate of fine suspensions or payment plans that are also interest-free. One thing that I can guarantee you is we will certainly fight for you to get the fine reduced or to at least be able to get you a payment plan which softens the blow a bit.
All right, in conclusion here for our video blog for safety rating upgrades, I wanted to ask Hoyt, can you explain a little bit about our safety rating upgrade process and some generic information for carriers out there?
Well, one of the things that we do through the upgrade process is we do try to help the client put some system and processes in place so that they're able to do things on a day-to-day basis, which is going to lead to long-term compliance. Carriers have a lot going on. They have to manage their fleet, they have to manage their drivers, vehicle maintenance, the list goes on and on. Now you throw in a FMCSA book that has regulations that's this thick. So we understand that, and we try to break it down so that it's understandable, and then again it comes out to being just some systems and processes that companies are able to put in place that's going to lead to long-term compliance, and in the end is going to save them a lot of money.
Awesome. Well, that wraps up our video blog today on the safety rating upgrades. Tune in next time for another version on another topic.